It was quite a typical Monaco. Just first of all, I didn't expect the rain to come, so that's why I think my first stint had to be that long. Because if it would have been nice and sunny, we had the pit gap behind Fernando, so you could pit, put the hard tires on, drive back up to Fernando, and then just wait for him to pit. But because we knew that the rain was around, I had to stay out, and basically I had to do almost double the amount of laps than what we planned to do, which was very hard to manage because the tires started to grain, and it took quite a few laps to get through that graining phase and the tires to cool down. But luckily, I think those last 10 laps are quite crucial, where I was more or less matching his laps, so we didn't really lose out too much. Then of course it started to rain, and it was very difficult with worn tires to keep it on the track.
I'm happy. I think we didn't have the chance. Obviously, Max was quicker than us right from the beginning until the end. So, we have to accept that. And second was the best place for us today. And the race was not easy to execute, especially when the rain hit us. We were considering if stopping for inters or for dry tires. We did double stop there, so it was a little bit confusing. But luckily we didn't lose any position. But it was not an easy afternoon.
I'm speechless. I'm on my cloud at the moment. I don't know what to say. Before the weekend, if you told us that we are going to be in the top 10, we would have been happy. But it's not the top 10. It's not the top 5. It's a podium. Yes, we are on it, and the energy I've received from everyone, from that weekend, it's been awesome, and I can't thank everyone enough for the support I got, and that one goes to all the team, from Viry to Enstone to the track. This one's for us, and hopefully there's many more to come.
It wasn't a lot of fun today. Monaco is never really a lot of fun in the race because you're having to save tires and you're driving around pretty slow, to be honest. I mean, when you're driving around at 70%, 80% most of the time, just saving your tires and waiting for a safety car or something to happen. So you're never actually pushing the car ahead of you because you got to save the tires. So it's not the greatest, but at the end it was quite interesting with the rain. That made it really difficult.
Kicking myself, to be honest. One small mistake cost us a podium. I came out of pit comfortably ahead of Ocon and Lewis. There was a yellow flag at turn 5. I backed off, and as soon as I pressed the brakes, I locked up and followed the yellow flag. And I think that's almost a lesson that when you're not focused sometimes, or you're not on it, that sometimes when mistakes happen. And I probably wouldn't have made that mistake if there wasn't a yellow flag there. So it's really disappointed, because after that pit stop, it was basically a guaranteed podium.
After yesterday, the 3 grid places penalty, starting 6, there wasn't much more. I mean, the pace wasn't great today. It was actually quite good on the hard. On the slicks, it was good, but there's nothing to do here. So it was basically a waiting game, and then when we started to push, the tires had gone away a little bit, so it was a shame.
On my side, I'm obviously disappointed and a bit confused with the decision we made, because we were P3 at the time with the rain coming, so I was kind of rubbing my hands because it was the perfect scenario for us, and then we decided to box for 2 laps with the soft before we had to switch to the inter. So at that time I feel like we had a P3, P4 for the team, and could have been better, but it's part of the sport, and we'll analyze what we could have done better.
I was frustrated, but don't judge me for the comments on the radio at the 300 kph in Monaco in the walls. We are all a bit either frustrated or excited, however you want to call it. Today for me it was maybe a bit of frustration, but it was 2 critical pit stops. One we did it too late, one we did it too early maybe, and that's Monaco. A bit of a lottery, and today maybe we didn't get it right.
We just shouldn't have boxed for the hard tyre. I guess I'm talking in hindsight, but with the information that I was given, which was it was not going to rain a lot at all, I was happy with boxing onto the hard, but it rained a hell of a lot more. So I don't know, we just didn't read the conditions right or something, and I don't know what it was, but should have. Maybe I should have questioned it more. It's hard to say. We'll review it all after. But we maybe lost 30 seconds from doing the pit stops.
and 30 seconds easily would have put me P5 or something, you know. So
I think starting from 11th, getting into the points is a good effort around Monaco. So happy with that. I think we executed the race very well. Firstly, we're starting on the hards, and then going on to the inters, I think at the right time as well, and just communicating very well on that. So happy with that. After a point, to get a point first Monaco weekend, very, very happy.
We were the early ones to stop for the Inter, which seemed to be the right call today, and made up a couple of places with that, but still not enough for points, unfortunately. But I wouldn't do anything different today. I think we had a good try. Probably the only thing today was the slow pit stop. It was like 8 seconds or something. So. But apart from that, pretty good day.
I think it was a solid weekend. I think the target of today's race was to kind of execute a solid race on our behalf, and then wait for the mistakes to come towards us. And I think that's what we did. It was not enough for points, but I think it was a solid race regardless.
Went quite well until the rain decided to drop. We took the gambling pit lap 1 together with Sergio. We was able to hold up the pace, catch up the field again, the time we lost in the pits, and everything's looking good for our top 10 finish actually. I think in theory was ahead of Sonoda if they do a pit stop, but unfortunately the rain dropped, and then they all had a kind of free pit stop, and then the risk of this strategy didn't really pay off, but still I think was a promising afternoon.
A race I must really need to watch back to understand how everything unfolded. Normally when you have rain conditions like that, it's chaos, but somehow it didn't feel like chaos. It felt like everything still felt stagnant, and I felt like there was not many opportunities to be had. So we did a good job. I was surprised how many people started on hard tyres and how many people changed so quickly to hard tyres straight away. That hard tyre was so much stronger than the medium tyre. It kind of threw everything out because it became a race where you just jumped on the hards as early as possible and just stayed on it.
I struggled whole week, but because of it was dry condition was okay. But when this rain started, just the brake issue got exaggerated, and I couldn't do anything. And the pace was really bad.
How tough was it to just keep the car pointing in the right direction?
Yeah, it was really hard, and just have to back off a lot to not crash, and at least I didn't damage my car, but it was really tricky to handle it.
Really difficult day out there, and everything that could have gone wrong went, and really sad with the performance, but not of today. Basically from yesterday, with my mistake, we knew that this was the price that we were going to pay.
Obviously, the weekend not good, but still somehow the race was fun. Go through different stages, obviously all the different tires and conditions. Happy to have survived it. I think I came through quite well. I feel the pace was actually pretty decent whenever I had some clear track, but for most of the race I was stuck in traffic like you are in Monaco, as we knew. But it is what it is. I think we need to reset, regroup, go again in a few days, luckily.
Yeah, tough day. Decent enough first lap. I mean, people were sending it. I was surprised how hard people were going for it. But first 10 laps were okay, still in a decent position. And then those medium tires just got away from us so quick. I was really surprised. Tough. And then once we got on the prime tire, had a puncture 2 or 3 laps in. That's about as bad as you can get when you don't have another set of those. Had to take the quali tire along, which is never good.
We tried everything, tried to do the opposite to everyone, and it didn't work out. I think, initially in the dry, it was looking interesting, but then when the wet came, I stayed out, hoping for a red flag, hoping for someone to crash either a safety car or a red flag.
Right now I'll be busy packing my bags early and heading home. Looking forward to Barcelona.
Was it just pretty frustrating that it just didn't really go right from the start?
It was just not one to remember.